So it's early in the morning and we're inside Pizzaiolo Primo. Kevin, we're not gonna shake hands because you got your cooking gloves. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. So listen, I'm a mozzarella freak. Mozzarella and basil and the vinaigrette. You know the tomato basil salad thing.
Sure.
And so I'm all about mozzarella.
Me too.
Yeah. Is there a science behind it you're going to show us?
There's definitely a procedure.
Yeah.
It definitely breaks down into a science. Like I said, these are curds, and this is our most important tool right here. Is our thermometer.
Hold on a minute. I feel like I'm at the doctor's office.
I'll keep it away.
Okay.
Right over here.
Yeah. All right. So I say I'm hungry. So let me just get out of the way and you tell us how to make mozzarella.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
All right.
First thing we do is we take our cheese curds. We do 10 pounds at a time. So each square here, for 4 squares is 10 pounds. So we always do 10 pounds at a time. So we're making 40 pounds right now, but 10 pounds at a time. So I go here and take it over to here. This is called a chitarra. That's in Italian in America. That means guitar. So it goes against the guitar strings. But this is how we cut the curds.
Can you play some Jimmy Buffett on that?
I can't play anything on it. I wish. Really important thing too is before these curds go through the guitar, we've had these sitting out at room temperature for about 3 hours now. It's nice if they're cold, then it affects the temperature of the water that we use to warm and heat the curds too. So always nice that these curds get very, very close to room temperature. It also helps them cut through the guitar. So the first thing we're going to do with the curds is warm them. Before we heat them, we warm them. So this is room temperature water. This is boiling water. So I'm going to cut them in, cut room temperature water in until I hit here. There we go. We want to get the water to 145 degrees. 145. 145 water goes into room temperature curds. Now, I take these curds, and you want to incorporate warm water because they go from cold, then they start to get soft. You want them to get soft. It's easier to form the balls when the curds are soft. It's easier to heat the curds when the curds are soft. We take this whole thing and we drain off the water. If you wanted to make ricotta cheese, the water that I'm draining off is what you use. You don't get a lot. Just get a little bit. Okay. Next thing we do is put that back in the bowl. Rinse off, goes up here. Okay. We have pre-measured salt. This is 155 grams of salt for 10 pounds of curds. So we salt the curds.
Is that your recipe or is that the recipe for mozzarella?
It's our recipe for mozzarella. There's so many different recipes for mozzarella. This is ours. This works for us. This works for what we use it back here, and it works for our pizza. A little more water. The temperature of this water is going to be 165 degrees. And this is what we heat the curds at before we shake it. So we are at 165. We want to get all of these curds fully submerged. So I'm going to go back and just get a little bit more so we can top it off.
So why is it at 165? Like, is it like the lottery? Can we box it at one, or that kind of thing?
When we temp the curds at 145, it warms them up. At 165, that's enough to bring the curds together, but you don't want to over temp fresh mozzarella because then it will just start to disintegrate. And two, I've noticed that if we temp it too high, then the cheese, when we shock it, becomes too porous, and when we go to wrap it, it leaches out moisture. And if the cheese leaches out too much moisture, then it's too dry, and then when we cook it on the pizzas, you have this irregular spotting. It's like orange spotting on the cheese. You see a little bit of that, but a lot of it means your cheese is too dry, and I found that that's because we over temp the cheese when we make it. So, and it's I'd say about 7 to 10 years of just trial and error. Just trial and error. And then we take our paddle, and it kind of is a slight curvature that goes this way, so we always go under this way. And this is where we start forming the massive lump of mozzarella. All the while, when the cheese is in the water, it'll stay soft. And it needs to stay soft because we have to shape about 10 balls to get out of about 10 minutes. So now you see how everything is nice and smooth. So this is where we start shaping the balls. So take both hands, take a little mass. I just go like boom. cap it off, and then you just kind of tuck, and you take your hand here. Your left hand if you're right-handed. Form your right hand over top, and it balloons out. Boom. Into the water. That's your first ball. And we just repeat. We make 200, I'd say roughly in the summertime, 240 pounds a week. So if you just kind of break it down, we're making 40 to 50 pounds a day. We don't take very many days off. It all depends on the business and what's coming. And we don't like to stay too far ahead on anything we do. So we only ever stay about a day and a half ahead on everything here. So this stuff we're using right now, some of it will go into production tonight, and the rest of it will be used for lunch going into dinner tomorrow, and then we'll start fresh again. That's how you make 10 pounds of cheese.
So this is kind of cool, but I mean, like, the important part is, what time do we eat, Kevin?
Well, I mean, we don't open till 11.
11? It's 8:30 in the morning. What am I supposed to do until then?
I guess you better get working, you Jagoff.